With that being said, it's time for the magic. Well, that was part of the magic too, but you know what I mean. And yeah, today I'm feeling called to start with Oracle. I know lately we've been starting a lot with tarot and ending with Oracle, but yeah, even on the walk over here, I got that download. And then even just now, like when I reached right for the Oracle while I wasn't even thinking about it. So it feels very, very important. So, first thing we got is Netflix. I'm gonna put it back and continue shuffle, but this definitely feels like, get the popcorn ready. Welcome to the show. It's about to be a good one. And it also feels like allow right now to be a space where you allow it to be cozy for you, or you're not just always on edge, or you're forcing yourself to show up in a certain way, but that there's room for you to relax, there's room for you to show up authentically. And sometimes that looks like chilling, that looks like watching your favorite show, and allow that to be the reality when you do get those calls. So, hell yeah. Hey. I hope y'all are doing good, man. Yeah, things have been weird. I hope this can serve as the point where things turn around. Yeah, y'all are definitely my family, and I love y'all so much. And yeah, I'm really proud of y'all and everything that y'all continue to do. It's like I come into the space and I feel it. I feel the change. I feel how the energy changes, how the lightness of the energy sometimes versus when it's more dense and all that. So it's like I can definitely feel that you guys are doing some good work here. And that, yeah, this just feels like a reminder that about how infinite we are and how connected we are truly. And that, yeah, you can't make any of this stuff up, that it's so, so real. And yeah, it's just really dope that we continue to show up and continue to do the work, because, you look outside and you look around, it's not a work or even a reality that's validated a lot of times outside of ourselves and our experiences and these containers and these rooms we find ourselves in. So it's definitely no small thing that we continue to show up the way we do, continue to do the work, continue to evolve, and really lead the way, honestly, because that's what it is. In all these things, as we are, at the forefront of grounding in these energies and these new frequencies that are present on the planet. And yeah, it really is a really divine existence. And it's just no small thing. A lot of stuff has become our normal, and it's become what we're so used to and all that, but it really is truly divine. And it just feels like a reminder, not even a reminder, but just like acknowledgement of that, but also like allowing us a reminder to not become jaded in it, or to allow it to become so normal that we miss just how magical it is in every single moment and every single day and all the unfoldment. And yeah, it really, really is divine. And it just feels like allow it to be, and continue to see it as such. No matter how used to it we become, no matter how big the miracles get, it's like, don't lose sight of just how amazing and beautiful, magical, mystical, divine, and cosmic all these things are. And yeah, Earth and 444 just came out. And this just feels like, yeah, the culture is changing. And there's so much support and stability in that. And it can be found in each other and in the way we continue to show up and continue to have shared experiences, how we all continue to experience the very things that we talk about, and how we are the living proof, and that the proof of it all and the magic and the shifts and new earth and all that can be seen in just us and in the things that we create, the experiences we have, the threads of energy that we share and navigate together and all that. And it's like we really are grounding in a whole new existence, truly. And that's really beautiful. And this purple also feels like a culmination, because purple is a product of red and blue. And yeah, it reminds me of how in the beginning I was talking about how it's wild that I'm dressed so warmly today, and it's like just last week I was sitting here in shorts, and it's like those two ends of the spectrum, and in the middle is us, and it feels like that's the purple, one side being red, and I was in all red last week, and the other side being blue, and then that comes together to really bring us into perfect balance. And yeah, it feels like that's the very energy that we work with here, whether it be balancing the divine masculine, divine feminine within us, or balancing our physical world with our spiritual worlds, and just those two opposite sides of the spectrum that really are the one thing, like they seem very different, they seem like opposites, but they're one spectrum, and it's like two sides of a coin, it's still one coin even though they are different sides. And it feels like, yeah, where we are right now is right in the pocket, right in the middle, right exactly where we're supposed to be. And that leads to everything that we want and everything that's ready for us and everything that we see for ourselves. So it just feels like just divine ass acknowledgement of exactly where we are and exactly what we've been doing. And look, I shuffled one time, and it's like royalty, and it's like that's what we are. And it's like, yeah, we're on our crown, we're in our throne room. 333, we're divinely protected, and there's such a divine presence around us always. And yeah, it just feels nice, and it feels very, very warm, a warm embrace from all the things that support us, whatever you align with, ancestors, God, the universe, your spirit team, archangels, like I'm hearing like galactic family, Arcturian, like all type of things. It's like all the support to be behind you, divine, cosmically, earthly, all of it. It's just like it's all here right now in this space. And yeah, it feels very, very supportive and very, very nice. Hey, welcome to the party, family. Hey. Oh. Yeah, tattoo just fell out, and that was one of the first cards I saw in the very beginning when, okay, my bad, D&D. I saw D&D too, and I was gonna get to it in a second, but it just flew up like, no, get to me now. And yeah, okay, a lot of these cards are significant. All right, I'll go through them one by one. So yeah, tattoo and D&D feels like, right now it feels like you're being called to do the things that feel right to you. Other people may not always understand it, or it may feel like very dramatic to them, or it might feel like, oh, like that's a lot. But it's like for you, it's like you understand the things you're doing to a depth in which it's all so divine, like moving with awareness and intention makes such a difference, Like for some people, a tattoo might just be like, oh, it's just a tattoo, just like nice, cool little pictures and things. But for you, it might be like symbolism or like reminders, or it might be things you want to continue to incorporate into your everyday experience. It's a much more intentional, aware, and divine thing to you. And it's like you understand that, so it's like you don't need anybody else to understand that. And people might just see you as like, oh, you just got a bunch of tattoos, you just inked up or whatever. But it's like for you, it's like, no, I'm a walking meditation, I'm a walking prayer, I'm a walking everything, And it's like, allow that to be enough for you, and allow everything else to be on D&D, You don't have to open yourself up to a lot of the noise. You don't have to hold space for a lot of the noise. You don't have to treat it as valid or any of that, Like people can have their opinions and it's valid in that, but outside of that, it doesn't have to have its space in your world. And diluted history just flew off. And it's like, yeah, you can't control what they think anyway, Even if you did everything perfectly right, no one's going to be able to tell the story perfectly anyway. It's going to be messed up. It's going to have stuff that's not true. It's going to have stuff that is missed and forgotten and all that, Like the story of you, as other people try to tell it, will always be diluted anyway. So if you spend all your time trying to get it perfectly right, or trying to control how you're perceived at every turn and control every narrative, understand that you will fail in that anyway, and you'll be drained in the process. So it's like, Allow diluted history to be diluted history, and trust that if you show up authentically enough times and do enough of the things that you're called to do and supposed to do, that the overall story of you will be as accurate as it needs to be. But trust that there's nothing you can do to keep it all, to control it, and even trying to is fruitless, honestly, and it's not a useful use of your energy. And what also flew out after that is let it go. And it's like, allow diluted history to be diluted history. Allow people to feel how they need to feel. You just need to show up authentically at every turn, and allow the rest to fall where it may. Some people may not like it, and that tells you everything you need to know about that. If they don't like it, it's like, okay, you're not somebody who's in alignment to what's best for me, because me doing what's best for me will not cause me to lose anything that's best for me. It will only bring me closer to the things that are best for me. So it's like, as you show up authentically and people show you exactly where they fall on the sides of your history and your existence, allow them to be exactly where they are. And if they're not in alignment, let it go and continue to move forward, and trust that, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So these things that are falling away, understand that things that are more in alignment to you will come right behind them time and time again. So don't hesitate to allow things to leave your experience, especially right now. And a couple other things fell out. Oh, wow. Okay. Third eye came out. But also religion came out. Someone's lying. And then I am. And that feels like a very particular story to me. One second, put these down. Yeah, it feels like, and I'm being called to just how in today's presence practice, I felt called to, tell us to place our awareness at the third eye as we were doing our breath work. And for it to come out right now, it feels like that's very important to the space we're in right now. And it's like we're seeing through a lot of the BS, and a lot of the BS is coming to a head right now, as far as just the collective, as far as the world, as far as society, a lot of the paradigms and the powers that were and everything. And it feels like right now we're seeing things for what they are. And religion and someone's lying feels like the illusions are being seen as illusions right now. And even from the people who aren't typically seen as woke, or who live in a lot of these spaces, or, even felt the need to look at a lot of these things, it feels like even they're seeing, it's like it's becoming so apparent in the light, and as the sun continues to get brighter and brighter, as I was even taking note of how dark it kind of was not too long ago before we got to this point, and now it feels like it's so bright I can't even see myself on the phone. It's like a whole glare, and it's like, it feels like that's exactly what's happening right now. It's like even the most asleep people are starting to question and are starting to see things, or like, that's not really making sense, or really, and it feels like that's very important. And it feels like things are definitely coming to a head. And it's like, and the last thing that remains is I am, and that's the truth. And as illusions and everything, gets illuminated and they become clear as illusions, it's like the truth is all that can remain after that. And the truth is our existence, that we are, and that everything after that is an illusion itself, Like anything you can add after I am is a box that you're much too big for. Like there's nothing you can say after I am that sums up the true grand totality of who you are. So allow I am to be a complete sentence. And it feels like the collective is realizing that at a bigger scale. And it feels like, it just feels like it's time. And all roads led here. And it feels like we're in a culminative space right now. And what we're seeing inside ourselves, outside ourselves, in the collective, in our neighborhoods, just everywhere, is a reflection of that energy. So Yeah, it feels like just continue to embody your multidimensional nature, embody everything that you are, and allow I am to be the complete sentence that it is. Um, and the more you do that, trust that your reality will continue to reflect that. And our reality will continue to reflect that as we continue to ground in these truths that are so evident to anybody who's willing to look for real and to ask the questions and just do the work that you do and that we do all the time, day in, day out. Um, yeah, it just feels like it's time. And I just keep hearing illumination, illumination. And the sun just feels like it continues to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And I felt very called to wear yellow today. And yeah, it's just a lot of energy right now. And yeah, allow yourself to be a vessel of that very energy and allow it to move through you because it wants to work with us. And that's why you've been hearing a lot of these messages. It's like we're all vessels of divine grace, divine energy, cosmic energy, and all that. And it's like if we show up authentically and allow the energy to move through us and be grounded into the physical, it will be grounded into the physical, and you will see that your reality begin to change. You will see our reality begin to change. And like I always say, we're not the only ones having these conversations. And it's like, yeah, the world is changing as we change ourselves in every moment. And yeah, and on the bottom, I also saw this snake. And this reminds me as how the snake year continues to end. Yes, we're in 2026, but the snake is specifically in regards to the Chinese New Year. We head into the snake, or to the fire horse, the year of the fire horse this month, February, in like a few weeks. So it feels like, we're in a new year, but we're continuing to shed those last bits of our skin. And remember, like that, this was the end of a whole 9-year cycle. So this is more than just the end of a year, but like the end of a whole era, a whole way of being, a very big part of our lives, individually and collectively. So if things feel very, very big right now, or the energy is very weird, or the shifts feel very big and they have you going this way or that way, or they just feel like a lot, you may be anxious and all type of stuff, trust that it's okay and that you're still in alignment and that you're just shedding things that may have been dormant within you, things that you may have suppressed, things that have just been within that are ready to be released now. So just allow that process to go and continue on. And this feels like waste. And it's like, trust that the things that are falling away and that are, crumbling around you, that they're just not in alignment to who you are anymore. And that if you're honest to yourself about it, that you'd know that and you'd see that. And it's like, allow the waste to fall away. And then under that is breathe. And it's like, that's all you're being asked to do right now, is to continue to connect with your breath and understand that is your life force, that is your energy. And your breath is so powerful and it's so magical. And it really is your connection to spirit and the spirit realm, and so much. There's so much you can do with your breath. And it's like, when things start to feel intense, or you start to feel, any way that's not necessarily in alignment to the truth of you, or anything other than just feeling so aligned and so safe and so present and connected to it all, breathe, get back to your breath, and allow that to be your square one. Your not even your square one, your zero square, before you even move anywhere, like that back to basics, like, let me get back to the cipher, let me get back to myself, to the all, and just breathe and feel that connection to it all and remember exactly who you are. And under that is shrooms. And it's like this, it's all a trip. And it's like, allow it to be, and relinquish as much of that control as you can and allow yourself to surrender to it all, because it is a trip, and everything that you're experiencing is way bigger than you, way bigger than me, way bigger than us. Like, there's so much at play, and it's like you couldn't control it all even if you wanted to. And most of the things that are happening are outside of your control anyway. It's like the things you can control is, when these things pop up to you, how you react to them, what you include in your experience, what you decide to do, what you don't do. It's that stuff. But You know, how the things present themselves to you is not out in your control. You know, the opportunity that just was on your social media, like you didn't force that to pop up. You know, it's kind of like everybody did their part, and then you just were able to see it and, you know, take advantage of it or work with it, or, you know, it's like that's what you need to worry about. But as far as just trying to force a bunch of things to happen, it's like it's way bigger than you anyway. And you're literally in the middle. Your dreams have already come true. You're living the unfoldment of it now, you know. It's like I keep getting called to this example week in, week out. It's like when you watch a movie about somebody's life, you know, and it might be like a biopic, and it's like you're seeing, you know who they are already when you go in to see the movie. You know where it ends up. You know that everything works out. But it's like it may start in their childhood where things are rough and they don't know that it works out. But you're not watching it like, oh, I wonder if everything's going to work out. Like, it's like, you know. So you're just watching the unfoldment of it happen, knowing that where it leads. And it's like that's what you're being called to do in your own life. It's like you know where the destination is. You've already experienced it. You've seen it. You've felt into it. You time travel there. Like, it's been so real, and it's like trust that experience is real, and the fact that you can taste it, you can smell it, you can feel it in your body, the energy, all that, and you can see it, like it's very real, and that you are experiencing it. So it's like, don't sit here and treat your every moment to moment present trying to figure out how to get there or trying to force your way there when that's where you're going, you know. It's like just like that movie. It's like just experience the unfoldment of it and trust that you've done the work to know yourself. You have that knowledge of self. You know where you want to go. You know where you're headed. You experienced it already. So now just trust your steps and trust your reality and trust that that's exactly where you're headed. That's what's unfolding for you. And it's like you're just being asked to experience that unfoldment, you know, and continue to move in that direction, continue to show up as the opportunities present themselves that feel like that very existence that you're headed towards. Continue to choose those things and trust that that's exactly how you get there. But there's no force needed. There's no figuring out needed. It's kind of just continuing to connect with yourself to the point where you know who you are and you know what you feel like. So when these things that pop up that are in alignment to that, you can be like, okay, that feels like me. That must be where I'm supposed to go. And you go in that direction. It's like, okay, that feels like me. Okay, let me make that left turn. You know, it's your GPS. And it's like, when you build that connection to yourself, you can trust that, okay, now that I know exactly who I am and I know myself to such a level, I can now choose the things that are in alignment to that feel like that. And that will lead me to more of myself because it's me, you know? And it's like you're in resonance to the very things that you want for yourself. So choosing things that don't feel like you will never lead you to a future that feels like you, because now you're choosing someone else's path. You're choosing things that aren't even in true resonance to your soul. And you spend so much time getting to know exactly who you are and that connection to self. So now it's like you're just being asked to embody it and trust it and move in those directions and choose those things that feel like that and know that those are the guidance, those steps. There's no separation between those things, you know. The things that feel like you and that feel super right are not leading you away from what's best for you. Those are the things that lead exactly to those places. So if you find yourself always choosing things because you should or because you feel like, you know, that's what you're supposed to do and all that, and then you feel like, damn, like I'm not, you know, you're feeling, oh wow, there's a whole iguana just laying there like looking at me, listening. But yeah, trust that if you're doing a bunch of that and choosing things that don't feel like you, and then you're feeling unfulfilled or you feel like your reality doesn't feel like you, that's a pretty good indicator of why, you know. So continue to choose the things that feel right and that feel like exactly where you're going, and trust that that's all you need to do. Whew. Hey buddy, here for the magic? Yeah, he's big chilling, sunbathing and just vibing. I feel you. Oh, and I saw this on the split and I kind of was thinking about the iguana, so I just kind of ignored it, but it just came out right into my hand again. It's like, I'm sorry. Oh, and look at that sad ass face right here. Like, I was drawn to it when I saw the I'm sorry. And education. It feels like forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for the times where you didn't know as much as you know now. That may have led you to places where, some of that karma might still be playing out, you know. to where it's like you showed up inauthentically before and you're still seeing the results of that, and it's still playing out in your experience. And all of a sudden I kind of feel like itchy and like kind of uncomfortable in my body a little bit. But yeah, it's like, forgive yourself. It's like, I'm sorry. And it feels like, and I'm sorry to yourself, like, you know, like your past self telling you I'm sorry, you know, that you still have to feel a lot of these things that, you know, are a product of, you know, a version of you that wasn't able to show up authentically in the way that you are able to now. It feels like, yeah, I'm sorry that you still have to kind of transmute that energy. You still have to kind of do the work that I couldn't do, I being your past self, that I couldn't do for you to not even have to do that right now. But it's like also not holding it against them now, talking to you in your present, not holding that against your former self, because them being exactly who they are is exactly why you're able to be exactly who you are right now. And it feels like now that you know better, there's no point in harping on who you were before or the past mistakes or anything. It's like, now just move better and now live in a way where there won't be anything to apologize to your future self for, you know? To now it's like, wow, like your future self is gonna be like, wow, thank that version of me, because that version of me led to everything that I love so much. It's like, wow, like it's only loud now in that future. It's like your message gets to be like a smiley face, like, hey, it's great, isn't it? Like, I knew we'd get there eventually. It's like, allow that to be the shift, and don't spend too much time looking backwards like, damn, but look forward like, oh man, like future me is really in for a treat and they have no idea yet. And it's like, I have no idea yet, but I know it's gonna be so great because of the very things I'm doing right now, the decisions I'm making on a moment to moment basis that, you know, may not directly be seen by me right now, but I know that in that future, there's that future version of me that gets to enjoy all the fruits of the labor I'm doing right now, the fruits of the labor of how I exist right now and the choices I'm making that continue to move this present moment into the future present moments in which all those things get to be seen and felt and experienced. And that's a beautiful thing for sure. And under that, I was thinking about ending and then moving into tarot, and it's like tarot's right there. And it feels like, yeah, like the oracle cards and everything that needs to be expressed through here has been expressed, and it's time to move forward. And yeah, under that is red, like stop. And yeah, I love my personals so much because they definitely speak my language and speak to me in such nuance in ways that, yeah, only I could speak to myself, you know? Like there's no amount of purchased decks and all of that could really get to every corner of me and direct me in the ways that my personal oracles can. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful for that. And yeah, I'm also being called to tell you to immerse yourself in your creations, you know? If you paint, hey, put those paintings up and really be surrounded and immersed in your energy and allow it to amplify you and speak to you in the ways that only you can speak to you. And it's interesting because now I'm being drawn to like this reader I came across like the last few days. I've seen a few readings from them, and yeah, she's so dope. And like she's sitting there, like she's one of those readers where it's like a top-down view and you just see the hands and then what the setup. And it's like she's like surrounded by a bunch of decks that she created and designed, and she's working they're so different. There's oracle and tarot cards, and even like there's like she has little teacups that she turned into candles, and she made those, and it's like literally just a container of just all her energy. It's like things she's made, and she has decks that are of pictures that she took and she turned them into cards. It's like so wild. It's nothing like anything I've ever seen before. And it's so profound to me because I'm like, wow, like she's just sitting there in her own energy and she's working with this energy, and they're all talking to her in ways that only she can talk to herself. And it just is really dope. And I'm just feeling called for us to do those same things, you know, and really immerse ourselves in our creations and to create things that we can immerse ourselves in. And yeah, it just is, that energy continues to be useful and it continues to be amplified. So yeah, if you have a bunch of things that you've made and that you can surround yourself with, definitely do that right now. And especially as winter continues to carry on and, we're being immersed in these energies and resting and recharging and all that, that's a very good way to do that. And yeah, right on the bottom, as I pull out the tarot cards, is the Chariot. And it's like, yeah, we're moving, man. We're definitely moving. Hell yeah. I'm definitely also feeling called to say, like, we're at the end of a phase, It feels like the end of phase 1. And yeah, not to forget all of your lessons. Oh, I bit my cheek. Not to forget all of the lessons that led here that got you this far. And yeah, don't fall back into the very things that you've outgrown, into the very conditioning and fear and all that got you to this point. Don't allow those very things to make you move backwards, Remember how you got here, and remember that you didn't get here lightly at all. So yeah, and under that, you got 4 of Wands. And it's like, that's us, man. Look how far they are. It's like, we've gone so far. And it's like, yeah, it's time to celebrate. I'm also feeling 11-11 energy. And yeah, it just feels like all our wishes come true. Yeah, and then under that, we got 2 of Wands, and it feels like, where to next? But not in a way of like rushing from one thing to the next, but it's like, don't spend your time right now sitting here trying to figure out how to make your dreams come true or make things come true, because they've already come true. You're experiencing the unfoldment. So it's like, you either way it's gonna happen. You can sit here and keep trying to force it, but it's like, you can allow, and in that, get in those vibrations that allow you to see what's next, and allows you to continue to grow and evolve and really continue to sow seeds and keep moving in that divine flow that will never run out, that will continue to move forward as you surrender to it. And it's like, look, it feels like he's a little off center, but it feels like he's even standing on this person's third eye. And it's like, that's what it feels like. It's like, allow your visions to lead your way. I'm also being drawn to how his wands are kind of cosmic. Like, I didn't notice, I've seen this card a couple times now, but I didn't notice how they're like that cosmic background, something like the darkness with the stars in it. And it's like, yeah, allow your actions and your steps to be guided through your connection to it all. And I'm also being drawn to the pyramids on this card. And that feels like Egypt being significant, Giza being significant. And yeah, that things are way bigger than they may appear at any given time, So it's like, don't get lost in trying to force things to happen and make things happen. It's like, you're a part of something so big. It's like, all you have to do is continue to show up and do your part. And trust your internal guidance, and trust where your heart naturally wants to take you, and where these experiences naturally want to take you. And trust that, yeah, you're literally God embodied. You're literally the universe embodied. Oh, man. Yeah, you're literally the universe embodied. And it's like, you can't get out of that alignment even if you try. So surrender to it and trust that that's exactly what you're a part of.